Hello everyone, it's me, Skinnies, and I just got finished doing the SCP-1128 SCP reading, and honestly, I think so far this might actually be one of the ones which is sticking with me the most. Honestly, the whole idea of it, I feel like it feels like a representation of the embodiment of aquaphobia, or maybe not. Is there one for the ocean? Thalassophobia? Thalassophobia. It's like the embodiment of thalassophobia.
Nailed it.
I feel like it's such a good way of representing. Why am I getting a call? Hello? They called, said nothing, and then hung up. Interesting. Anyway, SCP-1128 is the perfect visualization for thalassophobia. Just the irrational fear of the ocean. Because by all accounts, technically there is nothing there, right? But like it says in the article itself, in the interview section that I did with Basha, the D-class actually comments like, hey, you know, how did you fit a whole ocean in a bathtub? And it's like, it doesn't make any sense. So I feel like that, the fact that it can come from any body of water, encapsulating what it means to have thalassophobia or aquaphobia, it's completely irrational. It makes no sense. No sense at all. Anyway, all of this to say, I just think it's a really neat way to portray thalassophobia and aquaphobia, the irrational fears of the ocean and water. I mean, granted, in this case, there was something to fear, but we kind of get a glimpse into the mind of the people that have these phobias. Anyway, after the video was done, I decided to do a short little interview, not with him getting eaten alive this time, with Basha. And let's get into that now. So, I'm a little prepared for once. I have a few questions that we'll get to.
Wow.
Yes, I'm actually prepared. But first off, before we get into any of those, what do you think of that SCP? Like, the idea of it, considering you were playing a part of a person that got consumed by the aquatic horror. Yes,
a dream come true.
Yo,
I honestly have very little experience with any SCPs. It's just something I always hear other people talk about.
It must be a pretty interesting experience for you to now have voice acted in an SCP article, despite not really interacting with SCP.
No, I feel like this is my first real big interaction with it. Like, whenever people talk about SCPs, I'm always like, where do you get all this information from? And so it's like, you sent me the thing, which was the whole interview that that we went through, the article thing. I was like, so they just have these?
Yeah, there's thousands of them. Yeah, thousands of them.
That's actually insane.
So, first question I have for you. It's about your voice acting there.
Okay.
Out of the entire script, which line or part of the script was your favorite?
Damn, I think I pissed myself.
You know what's funny? I was thinking exactly the same thing. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Come on now. That thing, this incomprehensible creature just appears eating a whale. I think it's pretty fair for that D-class to have pissed himself.
Also, I liked when he is asked about his surroundings, and he's like, I just said ocean.
Ocean.
I felt like that was like, I felt that personally because I feel like that would be me too. I'm like hello, it's the ocean, it's water, it's fish.
I was
like...
watching. I was reading that interview section, and the researcher is just like, they almost speak like they're not human.
Yeah.
It was honestly kind of hard to interpret it on my part. Like how to if I just asked a question and then asked the same question a second time, no like difference even in how they ask it. They ask it exactly the same way 2 times in a row. But I think it came together once we had both the parts together. So
yeah, for sure.
For the next question, this creature, so in lore, in SCP lore, there is no pictures of it outside of the Foundation, so we technically have no idea what this thing looks like at all. In your mind, what would you imagine this creature to look like? It's a pretty big question.
It is a big question, and there's also a big answer because that's pretty much all I can think about it. It's just that it's huge because it was eating a whale.
Eating a whale. It's almost Lovecraftian, honestly. How do you mentally wrap your mind around something that can just eat a whale whole?
And I think that's about it. It's just like big, and also he mentioned like the teeth, so it just has to be like
just imagine like rows and rows of teeth. Okay, so the next question is actually kind of fun. If you could choose one person, fictional or not, to go down into the ocean with you as the D class.
With me?
With you? Who would you pick?
Can I abandon that person?
Yeah. Anyway.
Like my first thought was like, there's a lot of people I would just like abandon there and be like, you deal with it.
You're fucked up.
But it's like trying to think of like something that was like, if I had to go down there and like just to be like prepared or something.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of like anybody who's like the only thing I'm thinking of, have you seen I even haven't seen the movie. I think it's The Meg.
The Meg? Yeah.
I think it's Jason Statham in it. And they're like fighting like a giant shark.
What are you gonna bring Jason Statham?
I want Jason Statham with
Jason Statham. Okay. All right. I would have picked like, oh shit, who would I pick? I'm trying to think of like, okay, have you watched The Boys?
Yeah.
Put the deep down there. Put the deep down there.
No way.
Do you think he'd have a conversation with it?
He's gonna try to have sex with it.
Oh no!
I'm trying to riz the SCP.
You're trying to riz the giant monster that's like wants to eat you. That's crazy. I didn't even think about it that way. I just wanted to feed him to it, to be honest.
Oh.
All right. So we have one last question. Do you think that this SCP, if it existed, would be discovered by humanity? Do you think we would find it? Do you think we would know it existed?
Yeah. I think so.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, humanity's been staring at a fucking Scottish lake for the last 1,000 years, thinking there's a Loch Ness monster in it.
And you know what?
Yeah?
It could be.
What if the Loch Ness monster is this thing? Right?
I can imagine it could be like a similar thing where it's just like...
Keep in mind, this thing can appear in any body of water, regardless of, like, where. It doesn't matter.
I feel like a lot of these, like, unknown creatures we talk about, like, I don't know, something like a Bigfoot or anything like that. I feel like a lot of times it is, like, a lot of people see one thing and then they have like different descriptions of it, so they classify it as different things. So it could be the Loch Ness monster, it could be the exact same thing, and then people describing it differently.
I think one thing I love about SCP is how you can so easily link so many of them to like real world myths, and
Yeah.
it kind of explains it. It's really fun to do that, I think. If we were going to like boil this down, I would say that the Loch Ness Monster is probably the same as this thing.
It's just I think the only thing that would make me think not is that like the fact that this thing is like any body of water.
Yeah.
Where I feel like Loch Ness people.
I mean,
are
for
always
fuck's
just talking
sake, it
about
came out of a
lake.
glass of water and killed a D-class, which is fucking hilarious, by the way. There is 2 states that thing could come out of that glass of water. Either it was incredibly tiny and it killed the D-class as like a tiny miniature version of itself, or the entire thing came out of the fucking glass of water and just beached itself, because this is like in a dining area. So like, one way or another, it's gonna be fucking funny.
Honestly, I had never even considered that to be a thing. I was unaware that
Oh yeah.
happened.
Yeah, no.
Because
like,
I was like,
Keep in mind, I did send Basher this script with absolutely no, what would you even say? Preparation or anything like that?
no
I just kind of sent him the
context.
script and was like,
just
hey,
oh, okay.
voice act this. You'll get eaten. Have fun with it.
And so like in my mind, I was just like, oh, thinking of like a bathtub or like a pool or something. It's like, oh, just stay away from like large bodies of water.
Mhm.
The idea of it coming out of a glass of water is
Yeah.
absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. So we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of this, right? This thing, how it works is any body of water you submerge yourself in, you are instantly teleported to a point in the ocean where this thing will hunt you down. So be that the bath, be that the pool, anything of that regard, if you submerge yourself, you're now in the ocean. Congratulations.
Yeah, no. That was my thought. It's like a person would never be able to take baths again. Like,
Yeah,
you
you'd
like
be
swimming
so
and not anymore.
Dude, professional swimmer, athlete swimmer. They get infected by the cognito hazard. Go in the water. You best hope that you're about to perform the best swimming of your career. Because
Can you imagine if like it was like the Olympics, you're at the Olympics and you saw somebody go into the water
And they
just disappear?
gone. They just disappear the second they go under the water.
One of the contestants went under the water and has disappeared.
Whole stadium goes completely silent.
Once I was affected, I'd be like, man, I ain't going down alone. And I'm spreading that description to every single person I hate.
Fucking, could you imagine? Like you like chainmail it to like a bunch of people, and then everybody goes to have baths, and then just all of a sudden there's like 1,000 people in this ocean.
Imagine like you just you invite people to a pool party and within the invitation you describe it.
Be here at this time and place, and then he goes into the like this extreme detail, and it's just like, P.S. have fun. And they all come and they all get in the water, and one by one they just start disappearing. Do you think people would clock onto it?
Well, I was about to say it probably wouldn't work because like maybe like 1 or 2 people would be gone and then somebody was like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Well,
Do you not
it'd be
think like human
let's have, like, a
curiosity
group
is a
jump.
you put in the letter, the first getting into the pool, everybody needs to jump in at the same time. Hands
at
held.
the same time. It'll be so fun.
It'll be so fun. That's how you like gather up all your political enemies and dispose them all at one time. I feel like if like some country got a hold of this information, everything would go to shit. Like they would do you think the US military would try to weaponize it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that was one thing I was thinking earlier when you're like, would we ever discover it? I think so, but I think yeah, the government would absolutely like hide it, but try to make use of it.
Man, crazy SCP. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else left to say about this thing? really?
No, not really.
No, not really. I think that's it.
about it.
To,
Thank you for inviting me to do this.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Super fun. Fun, highly edited video. So, yeah, I guess we go back to, editing Scony. Right? In editing. Thanks, interviewing Sconies. I'm gonna get back to work now. Alright, well, there's not really anything else left to say. This is me after editing. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was honestly a really fun to make. Huge thank you to Basha for both the voice acting in the previous video and coming on to talk with me. These videos are probably going to be not for every single SCP we do, but when there's something that is actually very interesting to talk about, I will probably make a follow-up video. If we have someone who was in the previous video, I'll probably have them talking to me again. That, or maybe I'll just invite a random guest. Who knows? I think these videos are a lot more fun with another person. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe. Please go and watch the previous video. And yeah, peace.